What a showdown we are about to witness between the two Tony Kart teammates in OK Senior. Joe Turney versus Luigi Coluccio. The battle has been building all weekend, but now it's time to decide which of the two title contenders is going to lift the Champions of the Future Euro Series crown in 2022. A fabulous build-up here in Franciacorta. Jake Sanson with you once again to showcase the thrills, spills and delights of this incredible contest and showdown. In pole position, Joe Turney. So many chances to become an OK Senior champion snatched away in the past, but after stealing back the points lead this morning, he's never had a better chance. He really does look like the champion incoming. 10 points clear of Luigi Coluccio now as we go into the final. A British karting legacy is on the front row on the outside. Freddie Slater, former junior world and European champion, now taking his rightful place at the front of a senior grid at the age of just 13. Absolutely extraordinary from the Ricky Flynn driver. What a sensational opportunity this is for him to move his way further forward. Reigning world champion Tuukka Tarppanen is in third place, looking to end a tough campaign in the best manner possible. And with his speed and discipline, he could dominate here today. Excellent opportunities for him. Going to have an absolutely sensational run from third on the grid, the young Finn. Kian Nakamura Berta, an early favourite coming into the weekend. The Japanese driver had better not get into the lead as far as his opponents are concerned, or they may never see him again. That's how fast he has been over the course of the weekend so far. The Alpine Academy youngster for the Kart Republic Motorsport team. So fast around this circuit. The man contesting the title with his teammate, Luigi Coluccio, splitting his karting campaign with Italian sports cars, and this could be his best chance to win a karting title at the top level. He knows he's got to fight back from fifth on the grid, but he's on the inside line, so if he gets a good start, he could get up as high as third, maybe even second. And the man in front of him would be Joe Turney. Energy Course have their man ready to quest for the top spot. Thomas Stochamartis of Latvia, the man who won the Winter Series 4 months ago on this very track, the home venue for his team. Plenty of opportunities for Thomas Stochamartis to return to the podium that he made his own back in February. This is definitely going to be a tough challenge. The 1 minute board goes up, and we are ready for an exciting showdown. There's Evan Gilter, an outside chance for him to take the win. He can't be champion, but he can certainly end the year in the top 3. And what a comeback that would be for the VDK Racing youngster. Gigi is there in position on the 4th row of the grid, and he is lining up alongside the Paralympic sensation, Maxim Orlov, who will be there on the 4th row of the grid beside him. Time to go to battle. All of this build-up, all of this tension, all of this waiting has been leading up to this. 4 months of racing. And the European Series from Champions of the Future is about to be decided. Two men who have never won an OK Senior title before. Luigi Coluccio has only just become an OK Senior in his 2nd year in the category. Joe Turney in his 4th campaign now. This is the moment. Cometh the hour, cometh the men. Joe Turney and Freddie Slater on the front row of the starting grid. An all-British affair. Tuukka Tarppanen and Kian Nakamura Berta from Luigi Coluccio and Thomas Stochamartis. Evan Gilter and Maxim Orlov, Caspian Hagman and Alex Powell. And that is the 2:59 left on the grid. That is Niccolo Kuman. They're trying desperately to get him started, but it's not looking too hot for Niccolo Kuman. I'm afraid the 2nd fastest man from time qualifying could well be out of the race here. This is agony for Niccolo Kuman as the rest of the field works its way around. And I think Niccolo Kuman may well have to start this race from the pit lane. But it's Joe Turney and Freddie Slater from Tuukka Tarppanen and Kian Nakamura Berta, Luigi Coluccio and Thomas Stochamartis, Evan Gilter and Maxim Orlov, Caspian Hagman and Alex Powell, Enzo Deligny and James Igozzi, Matthias Mogato and Arthur Rojon, from Emili Koivisto and Chuyan Pu, Rintaro Sato and Nasha Tunion, Rafael Modanese, Juho Valtonen, Niccolo Kuman, if he can get started, will have to go from the pit lane. David Walter will be alone then on that row of the grid. And then it will be Gabriel Gomez of Brazil, Christian Bertucka of Italy, Oscar Pedersen of Sweden, Albin Sturesen also of Sweden, Lucas Samalisto and Enea Frey, Ian Eichmans and Harley Keeble, Keanu Alazari, Bruno Mulders, Oscar Wirtz, Jovan David, Gustav Wisniewski and Due de Decker. So what a tough battle this is going to be now for Nicolo Kuman, the man who is on home turf. This is his home circuit. And Nicolo Kuman is just unable to believe what is going on around him. Now, they may have made the changes necessary in time, but they're going to get another lap around the course. Joe Turney is not slowing up the field, so they will go around another time. Now, whatever happens, Nicolo Kuman is going to have to start the race from the pit lane. Big drama for the hometown hero. He lives just down the road from this very race circuit. Probably knows it better than anybody else, and he's certainly going to need to charge his way from the back of the grid. So they're going to push him out. He'll rejoin at the back, provided he can get started. They're struggling to push him out. Is Nicolo Kuman actually going to be able to get going? No! Oh, the heartbreak. Nicolo Kuman, second in qualifying. And it just doesn't want to go. They can try one more time, I think, at the start of the race itself, but I don't think it's going to manage it. Devastating for the Forza Racing team and for Nicolo Kuman. That is not the way he wanted his Euro Series to end. They've put it on the trolley. Game over. Nicolo Kuman cannot believe his luck. What a shame for the Italian. But now comes the moment where we fight for the title. Joe Turney, Freddie Slater, Tuka Tarpanen, Kia Nakamura Berta, Luigi Coluccio and Thomas Stochamartis. It's a false start. Oh, goodness me. As if the tension wasn't building enough. So it is a false start. The cart's not quite in position in the middle of the field. And that's up to the race director, Martin Bean, who will obviously choose when the drivers are in position. It's not easy to get these races under starters' orders, because there's not a lot of time to form up into the tram lines out of the final turn. It's one of the newest circuits in the world of international karting, Franciacorta. One of the newest motorsport venues in Europe. It's only been around for a few years now, and certainly it hadn't been part of the international karting calendar until this year. So it's still very new for everybody. But Joe Turney on the front row of the grid from Freddie Slater, the all-British front row. Is Freddie Slater going to become one of the youngest OK senior race winners in a final in history? Or can Joe Turney hang on from pole position and finally seal his first OK senior title? What can Luigi Coluccio do from 5th on the grid? He was leading the standings coming into this weekend. He's only 10 points back from Joe Turney. Anything could happen. And what will happen with Tarpanen and Nakamura Berta on the second row? Ready? It's a false start again. Goodness me. Drama and suspense like you wouldn't believe. And that's because there's, now that's somebody's, that looks like a side pod. No, that's part of a bumper. That's part of somebody's bumper that's come off. So somebody is going to end up with a technical flag here. I can't quite figure out who it is that's missing a section of their rear bumper, but certainly that is going to come back to bite somebody who is going to get a technical flag within the first couple of laps of racing. But just when we thought the tension couldn't get any more extreme off the start, 2 false starts, and now finally we should be able to get underway for racing. Between Joe Turney and Luigi Coluccio, one of the 2 teammates is going to emerge as the champion to the future Euro Series winner in OK Senior. Joe Turney, 4th year with the Tony Kart Factory team. This is his moment. He's been building up to this. Vice champion of the world, vice champion of Europe. Surely now it's his turn to take the plaudits. But Luigi Coluccio in 5th will be doing everything to stop him in his home country. Out of the final turn, we're ready. Green, and let's race at Franciacorta. Perfect start from Joe Turney on the inside line. He goes with Tarpanen and Coluccio. It's a hat-trick of Tony Karts up at the front. Joe Turney's run wide. He's going wheel to wheel with Tarpanen. He hangs on. Tarpanen coming round the outside. Gets through. A proper shuffle of the deck. And Gilter goes right round the outside. It goes off. Oh, the gamble from Gilter. It comes to nothing. As Evan Schilter drops right to the back of the grid. He could have taken the lead, but he missed his braking point by half a metre, and now Schilter is down at the back. But what's happening between the championship contenders? There's Turney. Behind is his teammate Coluccio. No, that's Coluccio in front. Coluccio's got ahead of Joe Turney. So the reigning world champion, but Turney's back in front. Joe Turney gets back into second place, and this is only the first lap of 25. Goodness me, Coluccio taking on his title contender. And now Turney wants to hang on here in front of Coluccio. If it ends like this, then Turney would be champion by only 13 points. But Slater and Coluccio come into battle. Coluccio up the inside of Turney. He has to bail out. Oh, Coluccio really wants this championship fight won. Joe Turney hangs on to second. Second would be enough to win the title. Behind the world champion, Tuukka Tarpanen. But Coluccio is still getting everything. The Tony Karts are at war. Morgado, Nakamura, Berta and Schilter cannot be champion. It's going to be one of the two Tony Karts. But which one? As Nakamura Berta dives up the inside of stochamartis and gets through at the end of the second lap. So Nakamura Berta now moves up into fifth. Behind Tarpanen, Turney, Coluccio, Slater. Nakamura Berta now fifth. Here comes stochamartis back on the inside. Max Orlov splits them as well. So Max Orlov gets through in the parallel. Next up is Caspian Hagman. Caspian Hagman trying to get through. And up the inside goes Matthias Morgado. He drifts wide. Rintaro Sato and Alex Powell get through. Brilliant racing. It's absolutely stupendous in OK Senior. What a start here at Franciacorta. And now Coluccio up the inside of Turney. The teammates battle for the title. And Slater's going to split them. Freddie Slater separates the teammates. Enough fisticuffs. I'm going to get in between you. So it's now a Freddie Slater sandwich on Tony Kart bread as they come out of the final turn. Tarpanen leads the way. Turney, Slater and Coluccio. Watch for Slater as Turney has to defend second place. But Coluccio, so hungry for a first title, as is Joe Turney. One of these two has got to take it. Fifth place is stochamartis trying to close up on them. He sets the fastest lap in his bid to catch up to Coluccio. This is going to be such a tough run to the end. Who is going to take this? Turney or Coluccio? Coluccio tries to get up the inside of Slater. Coluccio runs out wide out of the turn, but he's fast out of it, so he's able to gain a little bit more momentum. Tarpanen, Turney. Up the inside comes stochamartis. He gets Coluccio. So does Nakamura Berta. Nakamura Berta goes off. And so does Coluccio. Coluccio is a long way down the field. That could be the title winning moment. Powell gets through. Sato is still to the inside. So is the Ward Racing. Oh my goodness, it's Skittles as Sato gets past Nakamura Berta, and shuffled down the back is Caspian Hagman. Coluccio's got to stay out of trouble here. He's got Rojon to his left. He cannot afford to get into the wars here, but it looks as though Turney may have done enough in second place. As James Igotzi, their team, oh, contact, and Coluccio's lost his front fairing. It's over. Rojon is out, and Coluccio's lost his front fairing. Joe Turney, his champion of the future, Euro Series winner. It cannot be caught now. As Morgado drifts into the path of his opponent there. Oscar Pedersen loses out. Coluccio's going to be into the pits and out of the race. Coluccio gave it everything, but it's game over. Luigi Coluccio is out, and he will not win the title. Devastation for the Italian. And Joe Turney is about to take his first OK Senior title. Thomas stochamartis slides up the inside of Freddie Slater. They're still battling at the sharp end. And now Max Orlov wants to get in there for the podium. Joe Turney may not know the fate of his teammate, but he knows he's in front of him. But he's about to become champion for the first time in OK Senior. Well, we didn't need 25 laps in the end to crown a champion. We only needed 4. But that is not the case for Joe Turney now. He's not focusing on the title anymore. He's focusing on bringing it home to the finish. What a sensational end to this title fight. But now we've got a race to win. Tukka-Tarppanen, 7/10 clear of Turney from stochamartis, Orlov, Slater, Powell and Sato. Well, Galluccio is not going to lose second in the driver's standings, so he will have to concede defeat to his teammate. But Turney is hanging on in front of stochamartis. Stochamartis and Orlov are queuing up behind Joe Turney in the Tony kart now as the battle continues in fine style down the home straight. Joe Turney in front of stochamartis, Orlov, Slater. Here comes stochamartis. He gets past Joe Turney. Second place now for the Latvian. Joe Turney doesn't even need to finish on the podium. He just needs to bring it home now. And he has done enough. So this could be an opportunity for everybody else to sneak in and grab a podium from the Brit. Alex Powell, the Jamaican, gets the fastest lap of the race under his belt. Slater in 5th place. Behind him is Powell. So Powell is doing his best to close up and do a similar job to what he did in Kristianstad a few weeks ago. A similar job to what we've seen from him in the earlier superheat. Charging back to the tail of stochamartis, who is currently in 2nd place. But the reigning world champion, Tukka-Tarppanen, is out in front. And he looks pretty impervious to everything else around him right now. Slater versus Powell. Here comes Powell on the inside. And the Mercedes F1 Junior gets into 5th position in front of Freddie Slater. Good run from Alex Powell so far, but Slater is not done yet. Still plenty of time to go. Behind them is the son of Indy 500 two-time winner Takuma Sato. Rintaro Sato is there in 7th place. Then Nakamura Berta, his fellow Japanese driver, is 8th. Then Pedersen, Gomez, Morgato, Hagman, Valtonen, Igotzi, Bertucca and Eichmans. But Joe Turney is on the run to the title. He's already sealed it with Galluccio out of the race. But it was always going to be a tough race to win right from the outset. And Joe Turney would love to finish off on the podium if he can keep it together. It looks as though none of the 3 drivers are going to finish on the podium this time, as Matthias Morgato is currently down in, where is Matthias Morgato? 11th place at the moment behind his countryman Gabriel Gomez. And he's going to be 1 point ahead of Thomas Stochamartis in the title fight, unless Stochamartis can catch and pass Tarppanen. And that's exactly what the Energy Course driver is trying to achieve. He wants to bow out of the Euro Series with a win that would make him 3rd in the championship. So Thomas Stochamartis is gunning for it, up in front of Tarppanen. Here comes the battle. Tarppanen, Stochamartis. Turney still 3rd from Orlov and Powell. Slater is 6th. Then Sato, Nakamura Berta, Pedersen, Gomez, Morgato, Hagman, Valtonen, Egotzi, and Chu Yanpu of China. So Stochamartis is right in behind Tukka-Tarppanen now. We're 10 laps in, we have 15 to go. Still plenty to decipher in this battle. And Kia Nakamura Berta has been given a warning flag, desperately trying to carve his way through the field. That will come with a 5-second penalty. Such a disappointment to end Kia Nakamura Berta's title campaign, as James Igotzi, the young man from Miami in Florida, has just set the fastest lap, a 47.78. So we have 4 retirements from the race, in fact, because Harley Keeble went out. I didn't even see the Birolot exit the race. But Keeble is out, Kuman is out, Galluccio is out, and Nacho Tunion out as well. We didn't see what happened to Nacho Tunion, unfortunately, but the Spanish driver also out of the race. But nothing more sensational and more dramatic than Luigi Galluccio. Evan Gilter and Arthur Rojon, who got involved in the first 4 laps melee, have rejoined, by the way. They are in 31st and 32nd, respectfully. Not where you expect to see those two. As Rintaro Sato, racing under a British license, although he is Japanese, runs in 6th place and sets the fastest lap, having got past Freddie Slater. So Stochamartis all over the back of Tarppanen. He's not going to make the overtake until he has to. Only if Turney, Powell and Orlov are going to get close enough to him that they're going to become a threat, will Stochamartis go for the move on Tarppanen. He wants to leave it until lap 24, really. But Turney has got pressure now from Alex Powell, the young Jamaican sensation. So Turney hanging on. And is that Stochamartis going for Tarppanen? He's having to think about it. He's all over the back of him. Doesn't want to rush this, that's the problem. Turney and Powell are obviously coming on very strong in 3rd and 4th. But he cannot afford to rush this. As there goes Turney, down behind Powell. So Powell's got through to 3rd. Turney is off the podium. But he's still running well as Sato has got past Max Orlov. So Rintaro Sato charging his way forward. So Joe Turney, it looks like none of the top 3 drivers in the championship are going to finish the year on the podium as Enea Frey picks up the warning flag and the 5 seconds penalty that goes with it. But that's not going to matter to Joe Turney. The title is what's going to count for him. Stochamartis all over the back of Tukatapinen, and here he goes! The Latvian dives in and he takes the lead. Thomas Stochamartis leads in front of Tukatapinen. Latvia versus Finland. Energy Course versus Tony Kart. And now Thomas Stochamartis is in the same position he was in 4 months ago, leading at Franciacorta on the team's home turf. Can he get the win? He's certainly looking very tidy out there, very strong indeed. So Thomas Stochamartis has already opened up a little bit of a gap between himself and Tukatapinen. Alex Powell trying to charge up to them as well. James Agozzi has got another new fastest lap as he runs in 13th in front of Chu and Deligny, the Frenchman, in the Paralin ahead of Douwe de Decker. Great work from Douwe de Decker, by the way. He has come up from 36th position to 16th. Make that 15th now as he comes through. So Douwe de Decker has had an amazing comeback drive. He has made up 20 places on the starting line. Epic work from the Belgian. Meanwhile, Turney is under pressure here from Max Orlov and Rintaro Sato. Enzo Deligny now sets the fastest lap. Watch for Orlov. This is where he's going to make his bid. He doesn't make the move on Joe Turney just yet. Might make the go for it into the hairpin. And they can't afford to lose too much time to Tarpinen and Powell up front. The top 3, Stochamartis, Tarpinen, Powell. Then Turney, Orlov, Sato and Nakamura Berta. A little bit of a gap back to Slater. Then it is Pedersen and Gomez. Morgato, Hagman, Igotzi, Chu, Deligny and De Decker. From Valtonen, Walter, Samalisto and the Sri Lankan Yavan David, who runs in 20th place. 10 laps to go, 15 completed. Max Orlov all over the back of Joe Turney, the about to be crowned Champions of the Future Euro Series champion. He's dropped away, but he's not going to lose the title the way things are currently going. Can't afford to lose too many more places. But here comes the move on the inside from Orlov. Orlov gets through. So that drops Turney down to 5th place. That is going to drop his points tally. Hopefully not too significantly. He's got to stay out of trouble here, Joe Turney. So Orlov takes the position away. Stochamartis, Tarpinen, Powell and Orlov. But surely now, even if Joe Turney loses another position, yeah, he doesn't lose too much in terms of his points tally. Still on 94. And I'm fairly sure he's going to have it. Oh, hang on, there's somebody off in the barriers. Turney running side by side with Nakamura Berta. Is that Slater? Is that Slater in the barriers? Round the outside. Turney battling away with Nakamura Berta. It's Slater in the barriers at turn 2. Freddie Slater has gone off into the barriers on the second corner. And that is devastating for Freddie Slater. His brilliant weekend from the front row of the grid. It's all over. That is heartbreaking for Freddie Slater. He did not deserve to be ending his race in the barriers. And now Joe Turney is down to 6th place. So this is a bit nervous now for the British driver. His tally goes down to 93 compared to Coluccio on 82. So this is a really scary moment now. Yellow flags at turn 1 and 2 for Freddie Slater's kart in the barriers. What a damn, Joe Turney losing several places there. Joe Turney and Nakamura Berta having a moment, and that opens up the gap. Pedersen and Gomez have got through. Nakamura Berta is now 8th in front of Morgato and Turney. Turney is down in 10th. Now, is that going to be enough to cost Joe Turney the title? I don't think so, as I think he will end up emerging in the top 10 anyway. Even if he finishes down in 10th, it should be enough to crown him the title, as Tarpinen is being caught by Alex Powell. So as Joe Turney drops back in position, he's going to go down to the 92 points he started the race with, so he cannot score less than 92, so he will still win the title by just the mere 10 points he came into this race with. Oh, drama for Joe Turney. He is not going to win the final race of the year unless the last 7 laps completely bombast the current order. But still, it will be enough for Joe Turney. He will finally be able to get his hands on a title-winning trophy. But he's definitely done it the hard way. And there's yellow flags again Is that a similar incident? Is that the same incident or a different incident? I'm not entirely sure. Through the first corner. Yellow flags are still there, I believe, from the earlier incident with Freddie Slater, so he's out of the race, obviously, as we know. But the marshals had to do some adjustments to the barriers. That's why the yellow flags were still there. But now they have been lifted. We can go racing in the first couple of corners again. And Tarpanen in front of Alex Powell. Stochamartis sets the fastest lap of the race as he pulls away. So the Latvian Thomas Stochamartis finishing his season in Champions of the Future the way he started it in February on this circuit in the lead. Tarpanen second, Alex Powell third. From Orlov, Sato, Pedersen and Gomez. And then Nakamura Berta from Morgado and Turney. Caspian Hagman trying to get back into the top 10. But it's academic now. Joe Turney cannot be caught after a phenomenal battle all the way to the death. But Tarpanen's going to have pressure from Powell. Here comes Alex Powell up the inside. And the Jamaican gets into second place past the Finn. So up to second place comes Alex Powell ahead of Tuukka Tarpanen. Now, is that going to go all the way to the finish? Because Alex Powell has got 5 laps left to try and fend off from the reigning world champion. But that's going to be a big feather in the cap for Alex Powell in his first year in senior. Tarpanen is in his second, of course. But what an opportunity this is for Alex Powell to finish ahead of the reigning world champion after a fabulous battle. So they come down the straight one more time. 4 laps remain. Stochamartis ahead of Alex Powell. Tuukka Tarpanen, Max Orlov, Rintaro Sato, Oscar Pedersen and Gabriel Gomez. Pedersen has made up 19 places off the start. And a sensational comeback from the Swede. 21 places made up for Douwe de Decker. It's just extraordinary. 16 places made up for Gabriel Gomez and Ivan David. So the Brazilian and the Sri Lankan have been absolutely extraordinary in this final. Enzo Deligny, fastest lap of the race for him. But he is there in 13th place. Got to give credit to the hard chargers. To Oscar Pedersen in P6. To Rintaro Sato, who's made up 12. He's in 5th. Gabriel Gomez is up in 7th from 23rd. Douwe de Decker started dead last, and he is now looking to score the final point in 15th place. Ivan David is made up 16 places. Excellent work from the Sri Lankan. He started 34th on the grid. So an amazing charge back through the field for several contenders in this race. But in the final 3 laps we are now. And what a performance from Thomas Stochamartis. What an extraordinary drive from Alex Powell. And what a brilliant champion Joe Turney is going to become. He may have slipped to 10th place. He won't care. He's still going to be champion. And after 4 years of hard work, slog, hard grit, toil, determination, sweat, blood and tears, it's finally going to be Joe Turney's moment. So nearly world champion, so nearly European champion. But in 2022, he is going to become Champions of the Future Euro Series champion 2 weeks before the European Championship finale. What a battle that's going to be. Can he win it all? Thomas Stochamartis certainly dominating here at Franciacorta. And this is exactly what he wanted to bow out of this weekend. This could be the moment that he's been waiting for all the way. Tuukka Tarpanen looks like he's going to finish on the podium in front of Max Orlov. So it's going to be the Latvian national anthem that we hear on the podium in about a lap's time. It will be confirmed. Here comes Thomas Stochamartis, the king of Franciacorta. He is a lap away from it. I'll try my best not to jinx it, because the Energy Course team, who are just a stone's throw away from the circuit pretty much in grand terms. This is their home racetrack. But this man is going to be champion. Thomas Stochamartis will clean it up in fine style. There is James Igotzi in the 270, the young man from Miami, trying to displace the guys in front. Nakamura Berta is struggling on the last lap. Matis Morgado has crept up into 8th place. Good final lap from the Brazilian then. He's going to secure his place, but with this victory, Thomas Stochamartis is going to beat him to 3rd in the Drivers' Championship. Thomas Stochamartis out of the final turn. Thomas Stochamartis is the king of Franciacorta again. Amazing work from the Latvian. Energy Course reigns supreme with the Latvian superstar. Thomas Stochamartis, for the second time this year, is triumphant in Franciacorta in Champions of the Future. He won the Winter Series. Now he wins the Euro Series finale. But Joe Turney, who finishes 11th in the end, is the new Euro Series champion. Joe Turney has done it in style. It was tough and nail-biting all the way to the end. But there is your new Champions of the Future Euro Series winner. At last, triumphant in OK Senior. So nearly on the top, so nearly the winner. Now, there can be no doubt Joe Turney is the Champions of the Future OK Senior winner 2022. And he's coming back almost full throttle to enjoy it in style. The emotions are going to come out here for Joe Turney. Stochamartis is the victor from Alex Powell, Tuka Tarpanen and Max Orlov. Rintaro Sato, Oscar Pedersen, Gabriel Gomez and Matias Morgato. From Kia Nakamura Berta and Caspian Hagman. Joe Turney, the new champion, 11th. Enzo Deligny from James Zagotzi. Julian Pu, Due Dideka, David Walter, Yvan David, spectacular again. Christian Bertuka in 18th position. 19th for Gustav Wisniewski, a great comeback for him too. He made up 16 places. Juho Valtonen, 20th in front of Rafael Modenese, Oscar Wirtz, Bruno Mulders, and Evan Schilter from Samalisto, Eichmanns, Frey, Koivisto, Alazadi, Studesen and Rojon. The retirements, Freddie Slater, Nasho Tunion, Luigi Coluccio, devastating for him, Nicolo Kuman and Harley Keeble. But you are looking at a very calm and very collected champion, Joe Turney. And there's Luigi Coluccio congratulating his opponent. Joe Turney has done it. Stochamartis may be the winner, but Joe Turney is the champion. It's been a long, long time coming for the British driver, but finally, it's his turn on the top spot. Finally, he gets his moment of glory. And the team get to celebrate with him. He probably can't believe it. He's probably just exhausted. But when he wakes up in the morning and he has his title-winning trophy beside him, it will all finally sink in for Joe Turney. Amazing. Absolutely sensational run from Joe Turney. But we are about to go to the podium where we will greet Tuka Tarpanen of Finland, Alex Powell of Jamaica, and the Latvian, Thomas Stochamartis, on the top spot. So now it is time to greet the three drivers that will make it to the podium. After front fairings, there have been some slight changes to the podium positions, but we can now welcome our top three drivers to the rostrum. In third position for Jamaica and Kart Republic, Alex Powell. A phenomenal drive for Alex in the final race of Champions of the Future Euro Series 2022. In second position, representing Paralin Motorsport, Maxim Orlov. A phenomenal drive for Maxim, a really good effort to finish his season on a high note. But your race winner for Latvia and Energy Course, Thomas Stochamartis! On the team's home soil, they come through for the victory. So welcome back to the podium once again for Energy Course, Mick Panigada! And in deference to our driver on the top step of the podium, the national anthem for Latvia. Trophies aloft. In third position for Jamaica, Alex Powell. And in second, representing Italy, Maxim Orlov. But your race winner for Latvia, Thomas Stochamartis. And for the winning team energy course, Mick Panigada. And we invite the three drivers to gather together on the top step of the podium for the winning photograph after what has been an astonishing day at the office here at Franciacorta. What a way to end the season. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Powell, Maxim Orlov, and your race winner, Thomas Stochamartis. And now the drivers can celebrate in style the way they've been waiting to all weekend long as they celebrate in the Italian sun. Let's get busy with a fizzy! An amazing end to the weekend here at Franciacorta as our drivers celebrate in style. An amazing end. What a fantastic race to finish off with. I'm going to get in there and have a final word of the season with Thomas Stochamartis before he disappears. No other fantastic way to end the year. So, our race winner here in Franciacorta in the OK Senior Final. Thomas, just like you did 4 months ago here in February, the kart was strong, you were strong as well. Just tell us how the final went down for you.
We were starting 6th in outside and was hard start, but we managed to get one by one to the front and then just focus on driving and the speed.
You bow out of the season, 3rd place in the Champions of the Future Euro Series standings. You must be very happy to end it on your terms.
Of course, my first championship podium for sure. I'm very, very happy.
Fantastic. I'm sure there's many more to come. Ladies and gentlemen, Thomas Stochamartis. And that is it for the time being. We have had an absolutely fantastic battle here in Champions of the Future. Don't forget to follow us up with everything that's coming soon from the Champions of the Future calendar. championskarting.com. You can follow us along and obviously follow us along as well on Facebook and Instagram. A great 2022 season. For more, keep up to date with us, and we bow out here in Franciacorta in fantastic style. Grazie ragazzi e arrivederci!